I'm JJ Barnes and you're watching another episode of Creative Writing Advice. If you don't know me, I'm a writer, an author and a screenwriter and a filmmaker. I also write a writing advice blog and I do these videos to help you become a better and more confident writer. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to get the most impact out of the deaths of your characters. Because if you're going to be killing characters, you want it to matter, you want it to mean something. Otherwise it doesn't really matter and there's no point killing them. You have to use those deaths to make your audience feel like nobody is safe. Now obviously if you're writing a rom-com or a kid's story, it's probably not relevant to you. But if you're writing fantasy or drama, anything like that, you are going to want to kill somebody. It makes the stakes feel real. It makes it feel like real peril and real threat and real consequences for your story. And it means that if they go into any situation, whether they're trying to save somebody or they're questing for a mysterious treasure, you care more because there's danger and there's risk involved, which makes the story more interesting. It makes the conflict alive, and keeping the conflict alive is always the most important thing. So when you kill your characters, the temptation might be to just kill side characters. Your little band of main characters, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, little gang of main characters that are going on their adventure, you keep them alive. And I understand why, because you love them. You built the story for them. It's their arcs that you're working with. You might have future stories in mind for them, ideas of where their journey could go, what those characters could do, and if you just kill them, the story's over for them, there's nothing to do. But the problem is when you do that, it doesn't actually make it feel more risky. The peril you're trying to create, the conflict you're trying to fuel with writing the deaths of these side characters doesn't happen. Because, okay, yeah, I get what you're trying to do, but we know the main characters are safe. We know that that's not going to happen. They're fine. So you have to kill your main characters. And I know that sucks, believe me, because I love my main characters too. I love them, I write them, I create them. They are people in my head that I have birthed into the world through my stories, and letting them go hurts. But it's meant to. It's supposed to hurt. That's the point of doing it. So you do have to be willing to kill main characters. A way people sometimes get around this, which you might be thinking of doing, is writing a character specifically to die. Which is fine, by the way, 100%. You do not have to be like, oh, I've got all these ideas for these characters, but I've got to kill one. Damn. You can write one from the beginning of your story or series or film, whatever, specifically knowing that you are going to kill them and when. Which is a really smart way of doing it in some ways. The problem is, if you go into that character's journey, writing them like they're going to die, they will read like they're going to die. And even if your audience can't quite put their finger on it and they're not quite sure why they're not quite connecting with that character, their death won't impact them as much. It won't make things feel risky because they will feel written to die. So you have to write people who don't read like they're written to die. You have to feel in your heart like you could tell that person's story for years and years and years and years without interruption, and it would work. Write them like they're a protagonist. Write them like this story is all about them and something big is going to happen in their journey. Write them as if they have their whole future and whole life ahead of them. And then cut it off short. Brutal. I mean, it is, it's merciless, but it's great. Because that way, if your audience is invested in them, feeling like they have their whole journey ahead of them, feeling like this character is rich and vibrant and alive, and then they get killed, it's going to be more of a shock. It's going to have an impact. So that's what you want. You want your audience to be like, oh, that's a big deal. If they never feel that, well, alright, they're dead. Think of the deaths in Game of Thrones. The ones that shocked you. Think of the Red Wedding. When those deaths started happening, you were not expecting it. Well, I mean, unless you've read the books. But if you're talking about, like, watching it, you weren't expecting it. Because those characters felt like they had so much further to go and so much more to do. If it'd been all built to, and the story was building to the idea that, uh-oh, danger's afoot, this is going to happen, it just wouldn't have been so shocking. It wouldn't have caused the tweet storm. It wouldn't have been such an impact, because people would have been like, well, yeah, I mean, obviously. And if you bear in mind how many people Game of Thrones killed off, thank you, George R.R. Martin, a good lesson in killing people there, the fact it was still able to be shocking shows just how important it is to write these characters if they've got a long journey ahead of them. You want it to have an impact. So if you don't want to just take one of your characters and be like, someone has to die at this point, or the peril doesn't feel real, oh well, sorry, off you go. If you want to seed a character from the beginning who you're going to kill at that moment, write them with the same passion, the same vigor, the same love and heart as you give all your other main characters. And that way, when they die, the impact will be real, the conflict will be alive, and your audience will feel that risk and carry it with them into the rest of the story. And really, if you do it with at least one main character, if all the other ones that are killed off are side characters, it's fine, because you've told your audience you're willing to kill a main character. And just having that knowledge, just carrying that with them, that fear that another main character that they have loved and invested in, that they could die too, that's enough. I mean, if you want to kill more than one main character, I applaud you, because it's a good thing to do. It keeps it fiery. But if you just want to kill one, make sure it is one who feels real and feels written to live, not written to die. Thank you very much for watching another one of my videos. I hope this has been helpful to you. Don't forget to drop me a comment if you have anything you want me to talk about, any subjects you want me to cover, any books, films or TV shows you want me to include in these little lessons, because there's pretty much a lesson in every successful story. There's probably lessons in the unsuccessful ones too, but it might not be so complimentary. But if you want me to cover something, let me know and I will do my best to make you happy. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and please go to my website, which is jjbarnes.co.uk, and over there you can find links to all my social media, all my books, all my films, everything that I've got going on like that. Come and chat to me in the writing community over on Twitter. I'm always interacting with people over there about what they're writing, about what I'm writing, and about things that are being written in general, and it's a brilliant place to talk about ideas. So come find me and we'll talk. Thank you very much. Bye.